is up, my beautiful people? My name is G-Vans and welcome back to my channel. And it is finally time to review the new Vince Staples album, Vince Staples. This is the third studio album, I believe, by Long Beach rapper Vince Staples. And to be honest, for someone who's been in the rap game for a relatively long time, it's kind of weird that now he decided to make a self-entitled project. Like, okay, take you long enough. On some real shit, y'all, all jokes aside, it is actually really great to see some decent rap projects finally come around. You know, as I said many times, it's been a very terrible year for rap music, and although that will most likely still be the case as the year ends, I can at least say that, you know, rap projects like these came out and pretty much gave us a bit of hope that, you know, it's still good, rap music still exists. Now, personally, I feel that Vince Staples is a very underrated rapper. Well, maybe not underrated, but just a very underappreciated rapper that doesn't get the recognition that he deserves. You know, personally, for me, when he dropped the Big Fish theory, I think that was maybe back in 2015, 2016. You know, I was still in high school, maybe finishing high school when that album came out. And personally, I would say that with that particular album, Vince has single-handedly given the rap game a new sound. You know, he sort of like created like his own like wave when it came to rap music. However, I do gotta say that the follow-up to that album, the mixtape entitled FM, was, in my opinion, pretty underwhelming. You know, most of you would find that very surprising, but like I personally felt that that album was kind of underwhelming. You know, don't get me wrong, it's not that it's a bad album. It isn't a terrible album at all. You know, I fairly enjoyed it. You know, like I did love like a good amount of the tracks, I would say, from FM, but at the same time, I wouldn't say it's my favorite you know, Vince Staples album. You know, it really wasn't like the best Vince Staples album in my opinion, you know, especially for how short it was. You know, it kind of doesn't satisfy you as much as it should. Now, since then, Vince has been dropping a few singles here and there, you know, just sort of making a little bit of noise, but for the most part, Vince has relatively been very silent in the rap game. You know, just pretty much like staying under the shadows as he, you know, conducts a perfect fucking formula. And this new project not only redeems the hell out of Vince Staples, but it definitely shows a lot of great improvement when it comes to, you know, the music that we're used to listen to when it comes to a Vince Staples album. Vince Staples is back and better than ever as he teams up with Kenny Beats, who produces the entire album, as they both create a very beautiful rap project that many rap fans would consider, you know, like their dream of what a perfect rap album looks and sounds like. And honestly, I do gotta agree, because not only does Vince do a phenomenal job on the album, which we will talk more about later on in the video, but personally, for me, I really enjoyed the production value because of Kenny Beats himself. For those of you that have been following me for a long time and, you know, were with me last year during the whole pandemic, y'all would know that last year Kenny Beats became one of my new favorite modern producers right now. That man is a fucking genius, especially after I heard the Unlocked album that he created with Denzel Curry last year. You know, for an album that sounds super unfinished, you know, that album turned out to be fucking great. And part of it was because of Kenny's like just perfect way of mixing the boom bap style of rap to like a modern twist, you know, to sort of make it work with whatever artist he's working with. You know, he's this weird white guy that fucking like just has all these like weird sounds that work so fucking well, you know, and sometimes he works with very obscure artists that nobody else would ever work with. You know, he definitely pushes himself outside of the box to work with many different creative artists that definitely have like, you know, the style that he's looking for, and definitely contribute well to the kind of beats that he makes. You know, Kenny Beats is just a fucking legend in my opinion. You know, he is a fucking genius when it comes to the whole production side, and honestly, I can't wait to see what else he does next, because you know what he contributed to this album, I personally like feel that he is definitely like getting up to be like one of the greatest producers ever. And honestly, having Vince rap over these like jazz inspired beats throughout this whole project, while also rapping alongside the old school, like, boom bap, old school, like gangsta vibe, it's something that I never imagined when it comes to Vince Staples. I never imagined him sounding so good next to a production value like this. Don't get me wrong, it's not that Vince shouldn't have done it, because, he honestly sounds really fucking great. It's just that I am so used to hearing Vince just rap over these like weird sounds and whatnot, just like these weird like creative sounds that no other rapper would ever think of making. And Vince just fucking does it so fucking well. And after hearing shit like this, it's like, it's like something that truly surprises you, because most of the time when rappers step outside of their comfort zone, like it doesn't truly work out well. And it's very rare when we get like really great people like Vince Staples that just contribute well, not only with their own signature style, but just something that they have never tried out before. It's really something to look out for when it comes to artists that are really great, artists that you really love. And just shit that they do to like just step outside of their comfort zone to create something truly beautiful. Now, there's one thing that I always appreciated about Vince Staples, is that his real personality like truly shows throughout all of his music that he's created in the past few years. His wacky sense of humor and just all the alternative rap beats that he uses throughout his music truly make him and his music very unique and memorable. And it definitely shows that Vince Staples isn't like a traditional gangster rapper. Of course, there are a few hard songs here and there, a few hard gangster songs here and there, of course, but for the most part, we usually just see Vince Staples like fun and weird side throughout the entire time. And personally, I love it. I personally love his fun side, but to be honest, I do gotta give credit where credit is due, as Vince Staples changes that completely in this project. And just pretty much takes himself a lot more serious, and just takes a lot more like chill tone, as he just as he invites us into his mind for the first time, if that makes sense. In a nutshell, Vince Staples invites us through a journey where he shows us how misguided aspirations can easily influence you as a kid, whether it's your rough environment, whether if it's the toxic family members that you grew up around with, that's like the only thing and that's the only way how to act. Vince Staples just truly takes us through that journey, as he pretty much shows us all the misguided aspirations that he went through as a kid. What influenced him as a kid growing up, and like why he like chose the life he did before he got into the music. Throughout the album, Vince takes the time to talk about very touchy subjects like violence, all the gang environment that he grew up in, and even like the idea of going back to toxic people, going back to a toxic home, the only place you call home, even though that he or she is going to hurt you, that your environment is going to hurt you, you end up going back there because it's the only place that keeps you quote unquote safe. You hear it right away with the opener, "Are You With That?" You kind of see, I guess, the like mature side of Vince Staples coming out. He mostly sings throughout this whole song, which actually he sounds really fucking good. The chorus is really dope. His verses are really dope when he sings. It just really like shows you that shit's about to get real, and it really reflects on the entire subject of the project. And then there's songs like "Sundown Town," where Vince Staples just talks about the mentality of what it's like to experience so many losses, and experience the rug being pulled under you for like so many times, like the paranoid feeling you get. Like there's a certain line in this song. I don't like remember it that well, but I think it goes something along how whenever he sees fans, he's afraid to shake their hands. It truly shows that Vince like knows what it's like to lose not only people, but to just lose something really really fast. He's really aware that the lifestyle that he has is something that he's never gonna have forever. So he truly like is he's like kind of struggling, I would say, to like I wouldn't say like come in terms with that this lifestyle is real, because he has had this lifestyle for a while now, but sort of to like sort of struggling to like try and get comfortable around it, because I truly believe in the idea that like once you get too comfortable, that's when like like shit can be taken away from you just like that. It's a pretty like fucked up mentality to live sometimes. But like when you like when you experience this all, when you experience all the losses, and experience being like just kicking the fucking dick by life all the time, it's like, you know, you can't really blame people for that sometimes. Now, look, it's not that Vince has never talked about subjects like these in his music before, It's not like this is the first time he's doing it. It's just this is the first time that he's being very explicit on his feelings about them. We hardly like get to see like, Vince Staples like true feelings about it. A lot of his humor obviously like hides a lot of it. He definitely is the type of person to like use jokes and just, laughter and everything to like, forget that like sometimes your world is falling apart, and sometimes the world outside is falling apart, and like like it kind of helps you deal with the fact that you can't do shit about it sometimes. So you know this is just the first time that we are finally seeing a rare moment where we see Vince be a lot more vulnerable and just truly open up about his feelings towards like certain subjects and topics that clearly mean a lot to him, as we see in this project. Vince goes with a slower and chill flow as he takes over the entire spotlight throughout this whole project. And although, most of the songs don't even get close to the 3 minute mark, I would personally say that, in short 22 minutes, Vince Staples does create a very impactful and memorable and just satisfying experience altogether. However, Vince Staples does allow at least one person to show up on this project, and it is on the song Take Me Home as a collab with a Fousheé, I believe that's how you pronounce her stage name. But this, in my opinion, is a really beautiful collab. It is the perfect combination of rap, acoustic sounds, and R&B all together. They work out so well. Once again, thanks to the production of Kenny Beats himself, but also thanks to Vince Staples, like really great flow, and just like his great ability to like adapt to like different kinds of sounds. And Fauché's voice is just really really fucking dope. She has a really beautiful voice. This is the first time I ever heard of her, but she truly has a beautiful voice. And I personally really really love this song. Easily one of maybe my top 3 tracks on this project. Now, before I say the one thing that I did sort of like nitpick at in this project, like my one, like, I guess, complaint about it, my complaint on the album has nothing to do with the fact that it's a short Vince Staples album, because at this point, after hearing Big Fish Theory and FM and just all the other projects that Vince Staples has dropped, I'm at this point used to Vince dropping short projects. And at this point, I don't really mind it, because Vince has proven time and time again that he, even though he does make fairly short projects, he fucking like spends his time on them, and you can obviously tell that he fucking pours his heart out into everything that he does. That being said, my one small complaint about the project is that I wish it didn't have that many skits on here, because let's be honest, for a 10-track album, runtime is around only a 22-minute listen. Most of the tracks aren't even close to the 3 minute mark. It just seems like there are one too many skits on this project. And not saying that that makes it a terrible album, because the skits on here do like contribute well, and reflect on what the whole subject on the album is about. But in my opinion, I feel that he should have like kept the skits to a very minimum, if not zero, because I feel that the 2 tracks on here that were just plain skits and not like Vince rapping or anything, I felt that they could have been used for other like great songs, or or even another feature. I feel like those 2 slots could have been used a bit better, in my opinion. So that's the one complaint I have about the project. But besides that one little complaint, I think that this album is very fucking memorable, and it is by far the best project that Vince Staples has dropped since the Big Fish Theory. I personally really love this project, and it's at this point it's gonna be hard for me to figure out which album I like more, either this one or Tyler's album. I am finally getting to the point in the year where I'm gonna struggle with the fucking top 20 list again, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But for now, I do gotta say that this project is really fucking incredible. You know, most people would consider this to be Vince Staples' sort of mature album, which personally I wouldn't call that. You know, I wouldn't see this album as Vince Staples finally becoming mature, because personally I feel that we saw a lot of the mature Vince Staples with the Summer '06 project. You know, that one is a really like great and like, you know, serious project for the most part. You know, yeah, is a very like silly album as well, because you know Vince is having fun obviously, but you know, like when you go into like full like depths into the album, you could honestly hear the, you know, Vince's pain throughout that whole project. So personally I wouldn't call this Vince Staples being a bit more mature, you could say. Instead, I see this album as Vince formally and finally inviting us to truly get to know the man who is Vince Staples, you know, truly being able to know him a little bit better. You know, the man that we really get to see, you know, like his true feelings from. You know, just finally get to see what goes on in Vince Staples' mind when he's not, you know, trying to, you know, hide from it with, you know, his humor and just his jokes and just his laughter and everything. So yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about the project. It's really great, and I definitely recommend this to a lot of you rap fans, because you know it definitely has been a very garbage year for rap music. But you know, with this album and Tyler's album, I think that we are finally going uphill from here, hopefully. But we'll just cross that bridge when we get there again. Hopefully, I didn't just jinx ourselves and, you know, the rest of the year is fucking ass. But until then, I am really glad to see some decent rap projects come out finally. And yeah, I am gonna give this project a 9 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my review. What did you guys think about this album? Have you heard it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What are your favorite tracks? What are your least favorite tracks? Please let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to hear all your opinions about it. And with that being said, don't forget to like, subscribe, click that button down below, all that good stuff. And don't forget to stay happy.
It's like I'm living a dream, that's how to reach. I've been cooking like Walter and Jesse Pink. It's exhausting trying to be a prodigy. Past deep.